Walter and Maria Schroeder grew up in Winnipeg, children of German immigrants. And though they came from humble origins and achieved enormous success, they've always stuck to their principles of engaged philanthropy.
My wife, with her family, escaped across the southern border of East Germany into West Germany and came to Canada. They ultimately settled in Winnipeg in a very poor area. And two sisters worked. My wife and her younger sister went to school. Her mother cleaned houses. And so what happened was one day, in grade 10, towards the end of the year, my wife told the teacher she wasn't coming back. It was her turn to work. She had to support the family. One day there was a knock on the door at their home. And it was this man here who talked them into sending my wife back for grade 11 and gave her $150 from his own pocket. It was a lot of money then. That inspired me, and I thought if I ever could, I'd reward people the same way.
Walter and Maria have supported causes big and small across the country. However, their most personal efforts are in their hometown, helping students who, like them, had to overcome great challenges.
The students, a number of them, face challenges based on income levels. Here's where what Walter Schroeder has been doing comes in handy. He's been providing scholarships and bursaries to students, rather handsome ones. And we've had students who have said, quite frankly, that that's made all the difference in their lives.
Walter has a special affection for the staff and students of Sisler High School in Winnipeg's North End, where a very moderate investment in technology has completely transformed the school, and it's raised the horizons of hundreds of students and teachers.
Walter has provided, besides money for bursaries and scholarships, he has provided the sum of $600,000 to update our equipment, the hardware as well as the software.
What Walter Schroeder set up for us is the ability to actually match the infrastructure of colleges or even studios, and giving those students a running head start at software certification that is industry standard, and putting themselves at the same level as some college students.
Along with providing the benefits of industry standard technology to Sisler, staff have also been able to create an entirely new career readiness program called Post High.
Before, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but then this program, it just kind of enlightened me, and now I want to go into the creative industry. I didn't know about all of that until the program, and they started talking about it, and they brought light to it, and now it's kind of like I can actually do this in Winnipeg. I can stay home kind of thing, right?
Walter and Maria's desire to give the young people of Winnipeg a leg up has led to the creation of a wide program of bursaries and scholarships, helping talented students to reach for new academic and career possibilities.
May I introduce you to Mr. Walter Schroeder, one of the beneficiaries of Daniel McIntyre, and he has some news he would like to share with you.
I'd like to share with both of you that you've both been chosen for the University of Manitoba Scholarship, 4-year program, and then you'll both be given $5,000 each to see you through the first year. You three have been all selected to go to Red River with a full scholarship for the term of the degrees that you want to attain. I understand you're going to start in September, so congratulations to all three of you. It's a fully paid scholarship through the duration of your tenure at Red River. So congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
And both of you.
Oh, thank you.
University of Manitoba, School of Business.
So that is the most exciting news I ever brought home. Mom, Dad, I have something to tell you. My mom was cooking, my dad is reading his newspaper, he just got home. I was like, I am selected as a recipient of the Walter and Maria Schroeder Foundation. They stopped what they're doing for a second, and then they smiled, and then they looked at me. And I'm super grateful and blessed to being able to be in college while being sponsored so I could focus in my studies.
Through a family member, Walter and Maria learned of a high school in Winnipeg's North End that had some really serious issues. Located in the heart of the city's most challenged neighborhood, St. John's High School has one of the country's highest population of economically deprived Aboriginal students and new Canadians.
I think what the Walter Maria Schroeder Foundation has provided us is a way to create a sense of hope for our students, to provide a sense of optimism. And so there's two parts to this. It's scholarships and it's bursaries. 6 students receive a scholarship from our school, 2 from Sisler and 2 from Daniel McIntyre, for a total of 10. That's the scholarship side. The bursary side is we have now a total of 479 students that would have received a bursary. I think it's those opportunities that I think we're really excited about. When we talk about bursaries and scholarships, that's just one tiny facet of what he's doing with our school. Food hampers, hand out 100 food hampers to families. $20 to $25 each of those hampers, and we hand it out for some 30 weeks.
The Schroeder Foundation's original effort started small with a basic food supplement program, but it's expanded into a whole range of supports. What started as a box of free apples outside the office has turned into a brand new cafeteria with subsidized hot meals twice a day.
So many times, even before we had the hampers, kids would come in just in absolute crisis. Maybe they're the oldest child in the family, and they'd just be, something had gone wrong, things had gone sideways at home, because there's many stresses and poverty is multi-layered. They'd be like, I just don't have anything to feed the kids. And this is, like a 16, 17-year-old, and they're coming saying, I got nothing to feed the kids. But now that we have hampers, someone comes says that, we sign them up for hampers. Okay, you're on hampers now. And so they know they're coming on Thursday, they're picking up their hamper, and it's just that steady. I mean, the difference between having steady food and not having steady food is tremendous.
Brand new cafeteria here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, St. John's High School. We modernized the cafeteria. We took it over and got rid of all the old equipment, put in brand new equipment that's fast processing, quality, the emphasis on nutrition, and good quality food. Free breakfast and lunch, warm breakfast for at least 200 students, and a heavily subsidized balance for the rest.
As Walter and Maria have become part of the St. John's school community, they identified other needs. Now the foundation subsidizes attendance coaches and academic supports, all working together to keep struggling students in school and helping them to achieve their academic goals.
Education and just going to school and trying my best was just something that I'm passionate about. And then when this huge amount of money came forward, it's like someone is recognizing the effort that we're putting in as students and want to help us.
There doesn't have to be a prize for you to work hard, but the bursaries helped us realize that in the real world, when you're older, if you work hard, if you continue to work hard, your hard work pays off and you'll be able to receive opportunities like these.
1 in 4 of our graduating students are getting a full scholarship from the Walter and Maria Schroeder Foundation. That's unheard of in this province. So, we're over the moon.
I don't know, these people have hearts of gold. I can't even emphasize that enough.
The Winnipeg will always be home for Walter and Maria. They've been lucky enough to travel every inch of this great country. The province of Newfoundland and Labrador has always had a special place in Walter's heart. His efforts to highlight the music, humor, and energy of the province, combined with a great desire to tell unheard stories about Newfoundland's sorry financial history, led to the creation of a functioning theatre company and a brand new Newfoundland musical theatre production.
Newfoundland was always something, for some reason I took an interest in, possibly because of the interesting people I found there. I took an interest in that because they were fighters and they had a unique culture, and that appealed to me. And so I spent an unusual amount of time concentrating on the Newfoundland debt credit rating through the years. We took a trip across Newfoundland, took a rental car, went into a music shop and picked up a tape. It was called Uncle Harry's Bar Band. I have the original tape that we picked up here. Must have been well over 30 years ago. And then I ran across a song by Murray McLaughlin, No Change in Me. And the line in there was No Change in the Weather. And suddenly it dawned on me, what a perfect name for a show, because it showed so perfectly what Newfoundland was all about. And suddenly got an idea of taking some of these songs from Uncle Harry's Bar Band and putting them together and creating a show.
Over the past few years, philanthropy has become Walter's career. And nowhere are the needs for private funding greater than in the Canadian healthcare system.
Looked at different areas that we could assist, and I was very interested in medical research because my brother's daughter has got MS. We got heavily involved with MS, so that's what did it. A little bit of family and a little bit of self-interest in different areas.
The Schroeder Foundation provides support in several areas of healthcare treatment and study, including arthritis, Alzheimer's and dementia, and brain and heart care and research.
It's a surprise to people, I think, that scientists' salaries are not paid for by government, with a very small exception. But the majority of salaries of scientists in Canada are paid for out of philanthropy. It's people like Walter and Peter Crahan who pays my chair and others who are supporting science in this country. So we have in this institute 46 scientists. We rely very much on philanthropy to pay their salaries, and then those scientists go out and apply for their operating funds from Canadian Institute of Health Research or Alzheimer's Society or Heart and Stroke or whatever.
The Schroeder's generosity has had a major impact on Canadian healthcare through donations to support both research and expanded healthcare opportunities.
The hospital's budget, both from the point of view of actually funding the procedures as well as having the adequate space to do it, is predicated on supporting kind of the everyday or the standard operation that most patients need. The hospital doesn't have a mechanism other than through the foundation to support these operations.
In an era of fiscal restraint, the Canadian healthcare system requires philanthropists like the Schroeders to support both research and patient care.
Philanthropy has a huge impact on what we do every day. If you think about all the potential inputs that it has, it includes buying equipment for us for research as well as just to provide care to patients. Instrumental things like TVs and other things that makes the environment more comfortable, to really important donations like the Walter and Maria Schroeder Foundation has done to really drive novel research forward.
From a very young age, Walter learned the lessons of hard work that has been transformed into a strong ethical desire to give back.
That's the story of my wife and the way the principal helped out my wife with that gift from his own pocket, $150. When I heard that story, I thought, why don't I do the same thing if I can? And that's why I'm hoping that the people that benefit from what we're doing will in turn do the same thing for someone else. It's a two-way street. Life is give and take, and if you've got a lot, you should give some of it back, and that's the story.
The Schroeder Foundation has turned into a major labor of love for Walter and Maria and a fitting coda for lives well lived.
We've got the latitude to do as much good as we can in the few years we got left. And I don't know how many years that's going to be, but our aim is to try and keep us up as long as we can, as long as we're alive.